As a result of the proliferation of platforms like Plaid, the process of transferring money in the modern digital age has become increasingly streamlined and effective. On the other hand, it is necessary for everyone who uses the service to have a thorough awareness of the amount of time it takes for money to be sent through Plaid. This video will give you an in-depth analysis of the factors that influence transfer times, as well as insights into the amount of time that you should anticipate paying for your transactions. What is Plaid? Plaid is a corporation that specializes in financial technology and fulfills the role of a middleman between financial institutions and applications developed by third parties. Connecting their bank accounts, verifying their balances, and initiating safe transfers are all made possible for users by this feature. For the purpose of facilitating transactions, Plaid's infrastructure is utilized by a multitude of well-known financial applications, including Venmo, Robinhood, and PayPal. Factors influencing transfer times. As a result of the following reasons, the amount of time it takes for money to be sent through Plaid can vary. The type of transaction that you initiate can have an impact on the amount of time it takes to transfer funds. When compared to quick transfers, the processing time for ACH, automated clearinghouse, transfers, which are generally utilized for transactions between banks, is typically longer. Transaction processing times of institutions. The policies and processing times of the institutions that are involved play a considerable effect in the situation. Despite the fact that certain financial institutions may process transactions immediately, others may have batch processing schedules that cause transfers to be delayed. Transaction volume. The total number of transactions that Plaid and the banks are processing at any given moment can have an effect on the amount of time it takes to move money. Because of the processing queues, delays may occur when there are a high volume of transactions. The weekend and holidays. Because banks typically have limited or no processing during these periods, there is a possibility that transfers that are initiated on weekends or holidays can face delays. Requirements for verification. Plaid may, for reasons of security, demand additional verification steps for particular transactions, which may result in an extension of the time it takes to transfer funds. Understanding transfer speeds. The rate at which money can be sent through Plaid can change according on the factors that were discussed earlier. The following is a rundown of the average transfer speeds that customers might anticipate. Standard ACH transactions. The completion time for ACH transactions that are initiated through Plaid typically ranges from 1 to 3 business days. During this period of time, the processing times of both the sending and receiving banks are taken into consideration. Instant transfers. Plaid is a mechanism that allows certain financial apps to provide instant transfer choices. The majority of the time, these transactions are accompanied with a fee. Nonetheless, they offer almost rapid access to funds, frequently within minutes. Because of the limited number of banking hours that are available on weekends and holidays, the processing time for transactions that are begun on such days may be lengthier. Expect delays that are longer than the typical transfer timeframes in these kinds of situations. Tips for faster transfers. If you want to speed up the process of transferring money through Plaid, you should take into consideration the following advice. Choose instant transfers. If promptness is of the utmost importance, you might think about making use of the instant transfer option that is provided by your banking app. This may incur a price, but it guarantees that you will have access to your funds in a timely manner. When scheduling transfers, it is important to ensure that you take into account the processing delays, particularly if you require the cash by a particular date. When transfers are started far in advance, it is possible to avoid delays at the very last minute. Examine the policies of your bank. It is important that you become familiar with the processing times and policies of your bank. It is possible that certain banks provide choices for speedier transfers or have processing windows that are shorter. Avoid the weekends and holidays. If at all feasible, try to initiate transfers during the weekdays. This will help you reduce the delays that are linked with the processing schedules available on weekends and holidays. The amount of time it takes for money to be transferred through Plaid is contingent upon a number of factors, such as the type of transaction, the banking institution's processing timeframes, and the total volume of transactions. Instant transfer alternatives provide faster access to funds for a cost, in contrast to the usual ACH transfer process, which typically takes between 1 and 3 working days. You will be able to efficiently manage and expedite your money transfers through Plaid if you have a thorough awareness of these elements and if you follow the advice that have been provided.